What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video and welcome to my first WrestleMania 35 video this year. Today I will be doing a full fantasy booking of the WrestleMania 35 match card. But before that, I would like to officially announce that I will be attending WrestleMania 35, NXT TakeOver Access, all of that good stuff. I will have a separate trip plans video coming up a little bit closer to WrestleMania, but I wanted to announce it in this video rather than making a separate video this year. I'm obviously incredibly excited to be attending my 4th WrestleMania, but that's besides the point of this video. Just to give a little bit of context, I'm recording this on March 20th. On Raw this week, Kurt Angle announced that Baron Corbin will be his opponent at WrestleMania, and over on the SmackDown side of things, Kofi Kingston won that big gauntlet match, but then Vince McMahon forced him to face Daniel Bryan and he lost. So I definitely do have a lot to work with. There will be a lot of matches announced for WrestleMania still in the coming weeks. Some matches I end up booking could very well be announced, so if I say that, oh, WWE needs to do this and they're not doing it, obviously do keep in mind the time of recording this video. But let's not waste any more time and get right into this fantasy booking, starting off with the pre-show. And on the pre-show, of course, we will have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, which I think should be renamed the China Memorial Battle Royal. You see, the things with these Battle Royals is they've never really meant anything at all. The winners have gone on to do virtually nothing. So I think that starting this year, the winner of each Battle Royal should receive a championship match. The winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal will either get a US title or Intercontinental title match, depending on the brand they're on, and the winner of the China Memorial Battle Royal will receive a Raw or SmackDown Women's Championship match. That could happen the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania, or maybe even the next pay-per-view, depending on how you want to stretch it out. Starting off with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, we'll have our standard slew of jobbers in the match, just guys who couldn't really get on the WrestleMania card. We'll have our Tyler Breezes and Apollo Cruzes and Heath Slaters. But I think the main story going into this should be Baron Corbin trying to win his second Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, just going into handicap matches and destroying jobbers every week on Raw. And it just really looks like Baron Corbin is going to be the man to win this Battle Royal. And he does dominate most of the match. He gets, 3 or 4 decent eliminations, and it comes down to him and Tyler Breeze, or so we think. Corbin does manage to eliminate Tyler Breeze and celebrates over by the ring apron, and then EC3 comes from behind and knocks Baron Corbin out of the ring. EC3 wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Ever since being called up to Raw, he's kind of been involved in some goofy backstage skits. I believe he's faced Dean Ambrose twice on Raw, and other than that, he's been relegated to main event. So I feel like this would be a good way to get EC3 back into the mix of things, having him face either the Intercontinental or United States Champion at an upcoming date. As for the China Memorial Battle Royal, I think there is one logical winner, and that is Shayna Baszler. Coming up from NXT after losing the NXT Women's Championship in that fatal 4-way match at TakeOver New York, I think this would be the perfect way to call Shayna Baszler up. However, absolutely dominate this match, eliminate at least a third of all of the competitors in the ring, have her destroy everyone. If that means she brings up her 4 horsewomen teammates, so be it. But Shayna Baszler wins the China Memorial Battle Royal. Up next, I will book the Cruiserweight Championship match. We've got Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese. I'm not really going to change anything about this match. I don't personally watch 205 Live very often, so I can't really say whether this match has much behind it or not. All I know is that I did have a #1 contenders tournament, and Tony Nese did win, so I think it's fine to go ahead and keep this match on the card. Unfortunately, it will be on the pre-show, though I just did not have room for it on the main show. Up next on the pre-show, I have the Raw Tag Team Championship match. Will be a triple threat match. The Revival defending against Ricochet and Aleister Black, and Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. I only had room for one of the Tag Team Championship matches over on the main show, and I felt that the SmackDown one was much stronger. I feel like the Revival have been very underutilized in their Raw Tag Team Championship reign, but this match could definitely be great. We've got 6 amazing in-ring competitors here. I think they could absolutely tear the house down on the pre-show, and I think that the Revival should be the ones to retain the Raw Tag Team Championships. I don't see any reason in sending the titles back over to Roode and Gable, and I feel like Aleister Black and Ricochet need to break up and go their separate ways following WrestleMania. I would have actually probably booked them in singles matches, I just did not have the room on the card for them. And finally on the pre-show, unfortunately, I have to put Asuka on the pre-show. She definitely deserves to be on the main show, but WWE has given me very little to work with here. They've thrown all focus over onto the Raw Women's Championship match and left no real good challengers for Asuka. So I have Asuka facing Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose in a triple threat match, which Asuka should pretty easily win. And then I think it would be really cool if after the match, when Asuka is celebrating, Shayna Baszler runs in behind her and chokes Asuka out in the middle of the ring, declaring her intentions to go for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now getting on to the main show. show. Our first matchup will be for the United States Championship, and it will not be Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. What a better way to kick off WrestleMania than with a ladder match. Samoa Joe will defend against Rey Mysterio, Andrade, Kevin Owens, Mustafa Ali, R-Truth, and The Miz. That's right, I am not booking Shane McMahon versus The Miz. I feel like this whole feud was just ridiculous and really didn't need to happen. Shane McMahon is just taking a wrestler's spot who could be on the WrestleMania card, and I feel like no one's looking forward to this match too much, so I decided to cut it off of the WrestleMania card. At this time, I will also note that I did cut Triple H versus Batista off the WrestleMania card. Some people will probably be upset about that one.
You're gonna give me what I want, or I'm gonna continue to hurt people you love.
But I just really wasn't feeling this match. I feel like both of these guys would just literally be gone right after WrestleMania like they were literally a month ago. So it's just taking up space for two part-timers, which I could have booked a better match instead. So we have this ladder match kicking off WrestleMania, and I think that Samoa Joe should retain the United States Championship. When's the last time a title was defended in one of these WrestleMania opening ladder matches that they actually retained? Because I really can't remember. So I think Samoa Joe needs to prove his dominance and really solidify his reign as United States Champion and retain his title in this matchup. Just a side note though, if anyone does have to win the title, I would definitely go with Andrade. The next matchup I would book is one that has been booked for WrestleMania, and that is AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Only one promo in, and I am absolutely already loving this feud. I can tell that this is just going to be a great matchup, and I'm really looking forward to this, so I'm not going to change it at all. Up next, we have Kurt Angle's last match, and Baron Corbin was in the Battle Royal, so it's certainly not going to be against him. It's going to be the match that everyone wanted. Kurt Angle versus John Cena. And I think that Kurt Angle absolutely deserves to win this match. Most wrestlers like to put someone over on their way out, but I feel like Kurt Angle has earned the right to have a win in his last match at WrestleMania, and I feel that John Cena is the perfect guy to give it to him. John Cena could raise his hand, Kurt Angle could celebrate in the ring, it would all just be a happy moment for Kurt Angle's last time competing in the ring. Up next, the Intercontinental Championship. I have Bobby Lashley defending against Drew McIntyre. I would have some sort of tension start to build there after the whole Baron Corbin's faction of mid-carders. But not only is he defending against Drew McIntyre, he is defending against the returning Sami Zayn in a triple threat match. And I'm not talking about goofy Kevin Owens' buddy Sami Zayn. I'm talking about the underdog from the underground, the babyface that everyone gets behind and wants to see win, that version of Sami Zayn. I would have been fine booking just Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley. I feel like that makes more sense, but I didn't really have another spot for Drew McIntyre on the card, and I felt like adding him into this match would only make it better. Honestly, I'm not too much of a fan of Bobby Lashley, so I feel like just Drew versus Sami would be fine as well. But Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn would definitely be an interesting triple threat match. And I feel like if they built up Sami Zayn right and made it look like it was really just going to come down to Bobby Lashley or Drew McIntyre, have them dominate the entire feud leading into it, and then have Sami Zayn win the title at WrestleMania, a huge feel-good moment for the crowd. Sami Zayn wins the Intercontinental Championship. Up next, I would book the Women's Tag Team Championship match. We have Sasha Banks and Bayley defending against Trish Stratus and Lita. This was heavily rumored for a while, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Looks like we're instead going to get Beth Phoenix and Natalya, which is somewhat of a letdown compared to Trish and Lita. It'd be an absolute dream match to see Sasha Banks and Bayley go up against Trish and Lita at WrestleMania, and I feel like this would be the perfect match to happen here. Sasha Banks and Bayley should definitely win. They've just won the Women's Tag Team Championship, so it wouldn't make sense to lose it this early. It would be a real passing of the torch moment for Trish and Lita to pass it on to Sasha and Bayley. Up next, Roman Reigns. You see, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre really isn't that bad of a match, but the only thing is both of them kind of need to win. I feel like Roman needs to look very dominant in his first match back, and I don't feel like Drew McIntyre is someone who should be dominated. That's why I feel like back in the Intercontinental Championship match, Drew can dominate most of the match, and then Sami Zayn can maybe pin Bobby Lashley. So that way both Drew and Roman do get to look more strong. We have Roman Reigns taking on Dean Ambrose. And you see, this match just makes a whole lot more sense to me. When Roman Reigns came back from leukemia, Dean just joined back up with the Shield like nothing happened. It really didn't make sense to me, so I feel like at Fastlane, he should have just attacked Roman and Seth even, and set up a real blood feud going into WrestleMania. This is Dean's last match. He's very bitter about it. He joined the Shield, infiltrated them, and then just turned on them again. I just didn't really see the point in Dean Ambrose causing all that destruction to Seth Rollins and then just being allowed back into the Shield like nothing ever happened. So I feel like it would have been a real masterpiece master plan for Ambrose to get back into the Shield and then turn on them again and enter a feud with Roman Reigns going into WrestleMania. Quite possibly Dean Ambrose's last WrestleMania if he is leaving, so he can definitely take the loss here to Roman Reigns. And of course, Roman Reigns is going to win. It's his big return match at WrestleMania. Up next, I have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. This one's fairly obvious. It's gotta be the Usos versus the Hardy Boys. An absolute dream match. Two of the best tag teams of all time, but I do think that it needs a stipulation. And if I did not book the ladder match to kick off the show, I absolutely would have made this a ladder match. So I'm gonna go with the next best thing and make this a tables match. And I feel like, honestly, this match could go either way. I could see either team winning, but I feel like it would be a really nice passing of the torch for the Usos to win, and they are still fairly new in their SmackDown Tag Team Championship reign, so I feel like it'd be very good for the Usos to pin the Hardy Boys, or should I say put them through tables, but I think it would be very good for the Usos to pick up the win here. Up next, I have Finn Balor as the Demon, taking on The Undertaker. The Undertaker needs one more WrestleMania match. You can't tell me the last match of Undertaker's career is going to happen in Saudi Arabia. And you can't tell me his last match at WrestleMania was that stinker last year against John Cena. So I think the perfect final opponent for Undertaker is the Demon King, Finn Balor. Pass the torch along, down to Finn, and let Finn take it from here as the new demon of WWE. And now I just realized how many passing of the torch matches I booked on this WrestleMania. It's kind of funny. But up next, I have the Universal Championship match, and I'm not changing this one. We've got Brock Lesnar taking on Seth Rollins. This doesn't need to main event, though. I really don't think so. Brock Lesnar does not deserve another WrestleMania main event, and I don't feel like this match quite has the hype behind it as the other two matches that are going to follow it. But I think Seth Rollins definitely does need to pin Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar just needs to go away, honestly. We need a full-time champion on Raw, and I think there is not a better man than Seth Rollins to do that. Have him go ahead and feud with someone like Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, anyone really. It'll just be nice to have the Universal Championship on the show every week. And now for the main event. I'm going to leave it open to you guys. Which match do you think should main event? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. But we have the Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. I am going to keep Charlotte Flair in the match because I feel like Charlotte Flair is an amazing athlete, an amazing performer, and she's only going to make the match quality go up. But I feel like this feud should have just been a lot more simplified. You know, we had people getting suspended and the match taken away. Becky had to earn it back. Even though she won the Women's Royal Rumble, it just really didn't make a whole lot of sense. Then we had that weird Ronda Rousey heel turn, and it's just been all over the damn place. When what WWE could have done is just had Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair eliminate each other at the same time in the Royal Rumble and both choose to face Ronda Rousey, and therefore just creating a simple triple threat match. Becky Lynch, though, does definitely need to win this match. She's clearly the most over. Another reason entirely for Charlotte to even be in this match is just for her to take the pin or submit to Becky Lynch and keep Ronda Rousey looking strong. Or the other option for the main event, and the one that I'd personally go with, is Kofi Kingston challenging Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. Kofi is the most over thing in WWE right now, and this match has to happen. And it's going to. Come on, be honest. WWE wouldn't waste this much time on Kofi Kingston just to book another WrestleMania match 2 weeks out. If they really didn't want to make this happen, Kofi Kingston wouldn't even be on TV right now. So I'm quite confident that this match will happen. Will it main event though? I don't know. But this does main event on my fantasy booking, and Kofi Kingston wins the WWE Championship, becoming the first Black WWE champion in history. There you go. That is how I would book WrestleMania 35. And that opens up so many possible feuds going into the future. What is Seth Rollins going to do with the Universal Championship? Kofi Kingston's now WWE champion. We could have the New Day turn on him and, you know, Kofi Kingston versus Big E at the next pay-per-view. EC3 and Shayna Baszler both have championship matches. There are tons of possibilities after WrestleMania. That is my fantasy booking. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.